I want to make sure my mic is. All right. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Hello, hello, hello. All right. Um, okay, I'm trying to make sure all this stuff is on. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, hopefully it turns on. The only reason why I'm saying is because YouTube. Hello everyone. Happy Monday. Bridget, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, she can hear me. Okay, perfect. Okay, very good. Very good. Loud and clear, she said. Okay, perfect. All right, so Substack, y'all already know how Substack roll. Substack, if it start acting up, you already know to bring your booties right on over to YouTube. If it gets too hot, I'm just giving y'all a chance to come in and again, if YouTube starts acting up, I mean not YouTube, Substack, because obviously they haven't solved the heating problem with iOS, because what's that about? I can go live on other platforms from my phone, but for Substack, honey, it's like the phone just start heating up to catch on fire. I don't know what that's about, but anyway, we're moving on. So I will let y'all know when it get too hot and get too grainy to move on over to YouTube. And y'all let me know if it start getting grainy. Y'all already know. Y'all gotta let me know. Okay. All right. So welcome to Monday. It's a new day. YouTube, definitely give me some hearts. Let me know that you are here. If you're watching live, comment live. If you're watching the replay, comment replay. So real quick, because we're on a little bit of a time crunch. I wish I could be on live for 2, 3, 4 hours today, but I can't. I'll probably go back live, come back live a little bit later. But we're going to talk about real quick before 11:30. I have a hard stop around 11:20-ish, maybe 11:15-ish, because I got to prepare for cohort 4. Quick housekeeping. Um, quick housekeeping announcement. I do have a 3-day workshop for those of you who need to build agents, need to build your first agent. I have a workshop coming up. And when I say workshop, that means you're not coming in to look, you're coming in to work. Okay. I know people want to come in and just listen and, oh, coach, you just encourage me, but you gotta come in to work with this one. When I say workshop, that's workshop. Okay. Masterclass means you're learning something. Okay. So it is $47 for all 3 days. So get your booty in there if you want to get your first agent. Do you remember that phrase I told y'all a long time ago? I put it in the chat and pinned it for YouTube. So do y'all remember me telling y'all a long time ago? And it come from me. So it was not a download. It was something I've seen, and y'all have heard it before on different channels, but they've said things like, um, I get paid to exist. And see, Substack, I put that in the thing. That is actually about to be a huge possibility. See, people are they're waiting on universal basic income. That's what I said. Like, you have to be careful. Listen to the messaging, read the messaging. People are looking for anything and everything to come and save them because they don't have the capacity to save themselves. I told y'all, the more and more time goes by, you start really waking up and looking at this stuff for what it really is. You start to see how many people are children in the head. It's very unfortunate. That's why we haven't evolved as a collective. And this is why also it's a very small percentage of us that's going to get to the other side of this thing. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, some people are just going to give out. So getting paid to exist means kind of what? See, you're thinking that you got the universal base income, right? That's an option. They didn't say they were going to do it. But there is also opportunity to be a part of what. See, I'm on YouTube too, so I got to be careful what I say. There is an opportunity to be a part of the New Genesis project. You remember how Genesis, you remember we talked about this? Genesis, we're in Revelations, which is the great awakening, the great waking up. Everybody's waking up. Revelations means everything being revealed. Everything is code. This is not conspiracy. This is not woo-woo. This is all we're in it. Congratulations, you made it. You made it to the age of Aquarius. You can have a party now. We're in it, honey. This is no longer Pisces. Everything is in the great revelations. So I get paid to exist. It's going to be another layer. So you actually get to build your little heaven on earth if you want to, but guess what? You're going to have to create that. So all of you that are saying like, I don't know how to build agents, I don't know how to build agents, you need to learn. Because these are going to be the minions that's going to be working for you while you relax. I need to say that again. These are the ones, these are the beings that you're creating. I'm putting air quotes up. Because I'm going to get into that in a minute. You're creating these entities to work on your behalf, even though these entities are already created. And with agents, they're working for you for other people. So as you are, you have to start doing the infrastructure. Cordy, you need to be teaching it. She said it's not hard to do. Just what you need to teach it. It's a lot of people that don't know how to do this stuff. Y'all got to realize there's some people like that don't know how to. They're like they have some tech, but they are not proficient. Everybody needs. If you know how to do some of this stuff, y'all need to be teaching your people how to do this stuff. Because like I said, I'm in it. I want everybody to win. I want everybody. I want people to win. And I want people to be taken care of. Like you got to take care of yourself. And Jasmine, I just put the link up. So look at my stand store. I already got people that didn't set. It's almost like y'all were hovering over the link. But I'm so glad to see y'all are signing up. It's going to be the first, the second, and the third. Okay. So, but you're going to be building agents or having agents in some regard to work on your behalf. Harley said, I can't wait. I just saw I saw that you signed up. I'm so excited. Yeah, it's very, and this is the thing. These things have to turn a ROI for you. They just can't be like we're at a point now, and I don't know Substack if it's sticking. Come on over to YouTube. Let me put it in the chat because Because my community, y'all need to, because it's getting kind of grainy. I don't know what's up with that. It is so weird. My phone is updated. Hold on, acting up. And then okay. Okay, so I'm putting it in the community chat for Substack. So Substack, y'all come on over to YouTube because it's kind of grainy a little bit. I'll give y'all a couple of seconds to hop on in. But the whole thing is focused on building these agents, creating the infrastructure so that you can chill, doing some management, doing some, making sure that they're doing their job because they still agents. Okay. They're still agents. And I'm telling you this, yes, Yvonne, absolutely. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, they still need to be looked at. Okay. And I have my whole theory on that. I don't believe that these agents are completely autonomous. I think that's the language that they're using for the West because they have to cover it up some kind of way. This is total offshoring to me. Because I think it's quite interesting that why in the world are you using Telegram? I would tell people like the case to use Telegram when you could just use browse control, or even if it's local. Oh, but they're using local this and local that. I really don't care about the GPUs and all that kind of stuff because what all are you doing? I'm looking at the tech bros and I'm like, what all are y'all doing? Because it ain't just, okay, you got to look at the whole sales process of the whole business cycle. You got sales and marketing. Okay, got that. Okay, so then marketing. Because I'm telling y'all, people be lying and they get online. You got to peep game. And some of these people be AI. So you got to start thinking. You got to start thinking with your brain. I'm telling you, I saw one girl that was talking about how she went to play tennis and all this kind of stuff. People in the comments was like, how do you know they were doing it right? I said, because that is not a real person. That's what I said. I was looking at how she was talking. I was like, anything to get you going. That's why I said you got some of the stuff you can't trust. But see, this is the thing too. Yep, I'm drinking my Alani, so don't judge. Hello. Um, Save your judgments for later, baby. We're going on. Because I remember, coach, you don't need to be drinking that. They're doing lines. Yay, Bridget. They're doing lines. Don't y'all sit up here and judge me about my Alani. They're doing lines. Okay. They're using AI and doing lines. You can never make me feel bad about drinking this Alani. I don't care what you say. I'm not here to do little things. I'm here to do big things. I told you I'm preparing for my empty nest life. I've submitted proposals. I got some more proposals I'm submitting tonight and tomorrow. We locked in. Change forward. Come on to YouTube. Look at my community chat. Y'all, Lori too, because I'm going to turn this off. Y'all look in the community chat and digital LeadHer and tap on the YouTube and come on over here. She said, Change Forward said, been in consulting IT for 25 years. Took me about 3 years to realize, oh, these folks are on that ish. I'm telling you, they are on. I'm telling you, before they feet hit the floor, lining up. You talked about look. You talked about getting an alignment. So cheers, baby. You can't make me feel bad about this, cause they people hard giving out. This is not worse. I don't even drink all of it, and then plus, look, I don't even drink all of it in. Uh, um, I don't drink all of it at one time. I spread it out, so it ain't like I'm. You know what I'm saying? Chase Ford said, I didn't need much sleep, but I did need sleep. No, I get it. I get it. I totally get it. Them folks wasn't sleeping and were working and partying us. I'm telling you, I found this out years ago. I was like, because we sitting up here like wondering what's wrong with me. Like, why can't I just get it together? Girl, don't you know that they're not here. They're not in the body. They're they're not even in the body, baby. They're somewhere else. So what we're gonna do in the workshop, right, is going to be 3 days setting the infrastructure of your agents, because this is another thing too. A lot of people don't know how, especially if you've never put projects together. I'm not saying that you don't, but if you've always had issues with getting centered and putting a plan together, job description, um looking at everything that you do, and then probing questions on what to ask yourself so that you can get the right information, and then the next day tooling it together, putting the automations in place. And if you don't have it, you know what to do to put it together. Because some people say, well, coach, I don't have the this, that, and the third. But when you get it, you'll know what to do with it. And then the third day, we're going to completely deploy and put it to use and see what happens without like dragging out credits and stuff like that. And then also alternatives that if you just cannot do the agent, we could also have browser control and what you should be doing while all of this is going on. Because at some point, you're going to have to trust the agent and see. This is another point. A lot of people are watching these agents, they're watching them when they should be doing other things. You see what I'm saying? They're just watching. Now, the first couple of times you do need to watch to see what it's doing, see how it works, because it's going to probably come in with questions. That's why I don't think these things are what they say they are. Sasha, come on over to YouTube. I'm finna turn this off. Okay, Substack, go to the community chat, get the YouTube link, click on the YouTube link, and I'll meet you over here on YouTube because I'm turning this off. All right, y'all. So so what we're looking at, everything is cold. That was fast. I already buffered it. Oh, excuse me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I really feel that is the case. I really feel like that is the case, that something is happening. So when you look at the messaging, I was just talking to my friend about this morning, that what is happening, if you look at the messaging, they're talking about, oh, I got all autonomous agents and we're doing this agency. And I start saying to myself, why do y'all need all these agents? But you got to get real with the prompts that you use is straight. But what all are you doing? Because all you need is sales marketing. You may need a now. This is the only reason why I could say that you need more than one agent, because as you begin to bring on accounts or bring on businesses or whatever, or even working contracts, then yeah, you're going to have to probably need an agent to work each account. However, that's about probably the only reason why. If you're doing work like that, you see what I'm saying? Now, here we go with the next thing. If I am using all of these tools, because am I stacking subscriptions or am I getting stuff done? And this is kind of where I'm trying to pull us into, is that what are you doing every single day in beta mode and demo mode when you should be now entering into automation ROI mode? Does that make sense? I don't care about you making 100 websites. Do they have site maps? Do you have the analytics on the back end? Do you have the credits to support or the tokenization to support them running 24/7? Because that's a whole nother conversation. Do you have all of the clicks, and where do people go? I'm not hating, but we got to start looking at this thing for what it is. I don't care. Like, you got to think about, I don't care about the quick work. I'm talking about the good work, because it don't impress me. Now, I know I play around, I play around with, 100. Y'all need to have 100 YouTube channels, because YouTube is cracking down on all that kind of stuff, because it's people are not watching them, right? And so what we have to start doing is creating a good product. You got to create a good product. So recently, Facebook, quote unquote, went down in their monetization, right? This is recently. And so people are like, oh my gosh, like, what happened? Da, da, da. And so they came out with these Facebook creator new guidelines and new policies that they're not going to do this. It has to be original content, just in the third. Cool. And I said, that's not the reason. They don't care about all that. They just bought Book for an undisclosed. They even tell you how much they paid because it's undisclosed. It was a deal. These boys spent money. And then Meta just bought Manus a couple of months ago. Everybody with me? Y'all quiet? So the bros, they're building, but see, this is another thing too. The agents are working, like they're trying to build agents to talk to one another. And I said, okay, so now here we go. We're building whole entities that have the ability to talk to each other from a mile away. And I don't care. It is what it is. But I just think it's very interesting that that's where we're going. Here's another thing. The tech bros, this is no shade. I'm just throwing this out there to my W boys. And I'm not talking about W women. I'm talking about W boys. They don't have nothing going on. They don't have nothing going on. A lot of men are seeking to matter right now. Now I'm talking about all colors. A lot of men are looking to matter. I'm not saying all men, but a lot of them are. They don't have anything happening. And this is where you, Miss Overthinker, comes in. Let me see. So, Vaughn, what you say? And Meta just agreed to buy up 27 billion. That's what I'm saying. They're going to lower the monetization so they can buy up all these. Meta is behind. Meta is like, Zuck don't mind. Zuck do not mind, baby. He do not mind going and buying up stuff because he is so behind on Meta, because metaverse thing didn't work out. What is it called? He didn't um I'm trying to think, what was the other thing that he tried to, the Meta glasses is struggling from what I've heard. So they got the people in Kenya. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's other countries that are in this stuff. Even when it comes down to these driverless trucks, they are operated by people overseas. And nobody, and because we have no regulation surrounding AI, everything is deregulated, right? So they don't, it's all about capital. That's just the way it is. Nobody cares about the safety and the regulations. It's just let's just go get this money. So this is where you come in, Miss Overthinker. Miss Overthinker, you need to be focusing on creating a great product. If your newsletter, if your Substack, if your program, if your membership, if your community is not growing, you need to start putting in those growth centric pieces. Create the content that's going to move people forward. Now, here we go. When you get out of your way, when y'all get out of your way, you're going to suddenly realize this is why I brought this fact up. And see, you see nobody debunk me. People came in my DMs and was like, I could just verify that that's true. There's so many people I know that's on it. Even W Boys was coming in my inbox. I started to screenshot someone putting my stories, but I ain't do that. But they were like, it's true. It's true. Hey, Tanika. So before you get your panties in a bunch, they're on things. I keep saying that because they're thinking about people that are naturally good at what they do. That's why I said like you need to chill out and get yourself together because they seem like they're ahead, but they're really not doing anything. They're just running GPUs. They're just running storage. They're just being busy. They're not building better. They're tearing like these guys are tearing up the world. And I'm not talking about just the bros on TikTok and the bros on X. I'm talking about all the ones up like that's higher up, this up the ladder, the chain. You're tearing the world up, conflict avoidant, but causing conflict so that you can build another world. But I'm gonna tell you this stuff is finna backfire. Because all this stuff is gonna go downhill, is gonna go down here, and they're gonna have to go back to where it was, and they're gonna have to climb back up again. And they're gonna have to get the human back in the loop. The human is out of the loop. They're gonna have to bring it back. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And EK and the Vance man, I have to say his name, they're going to be running in the next race together. That's I think I froze. Okay. I'm back on because I froze for a minute. See, as soon as I start talking and saying something about you know who, that's when it start going crazy. I think they're offshoring so much work under the guise of AI to reset salaries over here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. To reset. That's exactly what's happening. Boomers are about to leave. Boomers are about to leave, so it's going to leave X, millennials, all of the emotional people. I'm going to tell you like this. You need boundaries. You need to like keep moving. Just keep swimming. 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 And like I said, politically, this stuff is finna, all this finna just be a big shakeup. When I said EK and that JD person, all of a sudden internet, reconnecting. So where does this leave you? Right? When you tear up the world, you got to create a new one. Not make the one you have better. Not improving the one you have better. not making sure that everybody is taken care of and the women and the children. This is not that kind of game. This game is rigged for the satisfaction of a class that's up top. That baby, they already got a .com. It's already done. It's happening. It's not putting her on the ticket. That was what her hubby was supposed to be. Her hubby was supposed to be running. Y'all think this is a game? This is happening. That's what I told y'all. My daughter said, if he running, I'm mommy, wherever you go, I'm going. I was like, you gotta finish school. I'll finish later. I was like, girl, get on. But yeah, this is happening. And everybody was like, oh my God, that's so sad. I just really like, I said that girl, and I told my family this. I said they're getting her rid of office. She's gonna run. She gonna do something. She's gonna do something. I said either senator or something like that. I said she's gonna run for something. I didn't think that, but she's definitely going on the docket. On not on the ticket. It's happening. That's because they need young people now. See, this is the thing. This is why you gotta get ready, get your children ready. Hyper masculinity, toxic masculinity is going to make a huge comeback. Our girls, if you are a mother of daughters, and this is not saying mother of sons yet, because even with sons, you got to just pour into them to respect women, period. We know that there are girls out here that don't mean no good. We know that. We know this. But many times, and you got to understand the psychology of women, women are reactive to a thing. Women are responsive. It's not even reactive, we're responsive. So if someone treats us like a thing, naturally we're going to lean into how they are reacting, unless there are wounds in place that we're searching for things that are not good for us, because we're taught to pursue things that are not good for us. We're taught to run after things that are not good for us. Men are taught to run after things for their own self-interest, even though it doesn't benefit them in the long run. They're taught to, and this is no dig, like that's just psychology and sociology. You got to study behavior and you'll understand, like, men gonna always put themselves first. This is not a dig to men though. It's just the psychology of things. So when we're seeing hyper masculinity come back, so 40 plus women, you're the mothers. Like you're the elder, like you're, I hate to say it like this, but it's the truth. You're the elderly now. The elders are getting younger. Because the 60, 70-year olds, they don't have the skill sets. Like this whole AI stuff, like they don't know what this is. We're the tech generation. We're the new, like we're the social media generation is so far removed from humanity. They're waiting on the rapture. They're waiting to get picked up in daycare. So we can't expect them to understand, because they will never understand. They don't even have the capacity to understand. Mhm. They have to give her these roles, even though she has zero. Like this is a whole, because they got to get the women involved. See, this is what I'm saying. Like I told people a long time ago, folk thought I was, but I was like, how, the most important thing is family, to the traditional, to the trad wife thing, right? It's so important to them. But I said, they the hardest working women I know. I don't see nobody working harder than that woman and CO. I said from that side, from the conservative side, like they work. And I'm like, y'all got babies. I wasn't doing all that when my baby was little. I just wasn't. I was too busy being a mama. Like I really was. And I'm not saying that, that's just me though. I mean, they working and look, they're not working look part-time, they working like with intelligence, with things that could get you unalived. Like they're working with spies, and I'm like, y'all working with international figures, and I'm like, are y'all children real? Or do y'all really have children? Are these husbands really y'all husbands? Because I just be like, how in the world? And I'm like, how far are you going? Are we acting? Are we? Because I know my husband, if I had, I've been married before, and I've had relations before. I just don't know if the men that I've ever been with, none of them, any of them, not none of them, any of them would have been okay with going that far. They'd be like, girl, you need to sit your tail down. Are you doing him? Like, I mean, it's just really interesting. That's just me though. Because I'm like, okay, you got kids. You need to lay back a little bit because they ain't gonna have no mama. And I thought that was the point. I thought that was the point because that's a lot. I mean, my babies are small now. If they're older and kind of got their own families and stuff, then okay. But I can see, doing some investigative work like you really want to. But if you're talking about family and how family is the center point and the center stone, and everything that like your values are that strong, like I'm not out here, I'm being this, but it's like I promise you I wasn't doing all that. I had the most I ever had when Maddie was a little girl, baby. I had me a little 20-hour a week office job. And that was just to get out the house. And she did like how they do the mama's day out. That's all I did until she got like almost 2. And then I went, and went back into therapy, did therapy and stuff. Me and her dad split. But and even then, I know my husband was like, okay, that's enough. That's Christina, thank you. That was my whole point. Right. I started my business just so I could be a more hands-on mom. That's literally been the entire. And if I did work for someone, I had a very flexible schedule where I did hybrid, like I worked from home and I worked in the office. And I made sure that my manager knew, like, if my baby said she's sick and she was really sick, because sometimes Maddie be called, I don't feel like being here, the only child. But if she was really sick, I had to let the manager. I wasn't asking to be off. I'm going to be off today. My baby's sick. Like you have to. Like if you're not going, I'm saying. Oh, here we go again with this. Oh shoot. Let me. Okay, y'all. I'm about to refresh. But okay. I'm back, y'all. I just thought it was interesting. I just think it's interesting to me. It's just very interesting. Um, but let them tell it. It's the best thing since sliced bread. A traditional. But I just think it's interesting they do most work. And people be like, oh my God, God bless you. God bless you. And I'm like, girl, they working. Where the husband's at? Oh, he's being the provider. He's being the protector. He's being. Girl, you ain't no better than us. You ain't no better than anybody else that out here that's trying to figure it out. I ain't impressed. Because you got, like I said, you got little babies. Oh, that's what you say. Because I'm starting to think that all the children even for real. Because let me find that out. That they ain't got no kids for real. Because this whole thing is hey, at this point, nothing shocks me. Why would I not? Why would I lie about that? They love it. Why would I lie about something so precious? Girl, you lie about everything else. What you want me to do is be dumb. That ain't happening. That's why they don't like thinkers. I'm not saying I'm talking about all of it. I'm not even talking about red or blue. I'm talking about period. They don't like they cannot stand when you question, honey. You better not question nothing. You better not. You better roll with it. Just like with this whole tech thing, like I said, if I start questioning, see me even saying that this is an offshore thing, like why do you have to have Telegram? Why can't you just have, they won't answer that question. Why you gotta have Telegram? Why can't you just have browser control and that? Because I can run different browsers. Like Comet has, like Perplexity has Comet, right? Claude has his own browser. Chat has Codex. I don't understand what's the problem. Why you got to do Telegram? Why you got to download WhatsApp? That goes silent. So who's on the other side of this? Nobody can answer the question, but they know the answer. There's nothing else be outside of that. See, when I start asking questions, people get nervous because it's like now we have to come up with an answer, and nobody is like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, you know what, Jay? That's kind of a, because we don't like the deep thinking. We just don't want to do, like, okay. So what do we do, Jay? Even if that's the case, okay. If that's the case, and it's people in Malaysia or Philippines or Vietnam, or because it's really what they want to do. They want Americans, and this is kind of the flex here, because like I told people, Americans have a work ethic that's kind of stupid. Like it's really crazy. We have a really wild work ethic, right? So if the tech people that are great at organizing and managing things, right, and we get us a couple of agents to manage different accounts, guess what? These agents are going to talk to each other because these just people on the other side of the world is yapping. Because that's all Motebook is. Agents that are talking to one another. But they're actual agencies. Agents standing for agencies. Are we gonna sit here and do this? Are we gonna really sit here and act like this ain't happening? Okay. Agents have to be a part of something. Oh, you think they call them agents? Their roles. Because I'm not a bro. I'm gonna get looked over because I'm not a bro. But I get on there and question it. But see, this is customer. You need to have a good customer experience. You need to have good client experience. You need to make a better product. So if you have a Substack and you tell yourself, I don't have offers. Yes, you do. You have a Substack. Yes, you do. You have a newsletter. Yes, you do. You have a community that you're building on TikTok. Yes, you do have a community that you're building on Threads or whatever. Learn how to create a better product. Human experiences are going to be considered premium. Did you hear what I said? So if you have a program, if you're intent, like, it's not about doing more. It's not about doing more. It's about deploying the right tools and the right support for your people. If you're going to use AI, use it to support your clients. Does that make sense? You have people that don't like humans that much. I know humans get on your nerves. And I told people, I know, I understand that we get on each other's nerves. I know this. I know this to be true. But as long, see, and this is the thing, they want you to lose meaning. They want you to lose purpose because they don't want you looking for the other side. This is all when they say reset, don't you know that's reset for what? What does reset mean? Let's play with it. Let's do that. Let's go to what reset is. Because I got to get off of here in a minute. Okay, so when it comes down to the word reset, there you go, Christina. She said we need to identify and hold our why. Why are we doing this? Because they want you to not have a why. They want you to lose your why. Okay, here we go. Y'all ready? Reset is the simplest form means, in its simplest form, means to set again or return something to its original or starting state. Which is crazy to me that they're ushering in that ticket that we just talked about. Because you need a male and a female. You need here we go. You need an Adam and an Eve. Okay. Think of it like clearing the board and clearing a new game. It can apply to machines, processes, or even personal experience. Now, the great reset is a different conversation, but let's pull the current context into this, right? So, the Great Reset is the name of a World Economic Forum initiative launched in June of 2020 in response to the economic and social conditions, economic and social conditions stemming from the COVID-19 event. It was introduced by Klaus Schwab, who's no longer with us apparently, founder of WEF, and co-authored into a book with Terry, something like that, Malaret. In the book, they frame it as a means of addressing what they call the weaknesses of capitalism that were exposed by the pandemic. Oh, let's go here. What time we got? I got 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Let's look at what the weaknesses of capitalism were. Shall we? See, this is how you ask. You know, when they talk about critical thinking, this is how you get 3 layers deep, because you need to know what's the heck is going on. But this can also lead to a rabbit hole. That is a whole topic right there. It's resetting and needing an avenue to usher in a new genesis. Yep. Okay, so this is what they have identified as the weakness. What they said, this is interesting. We're talking about geopolitical, we're talking about social, we're talking about environmental, we're talking about technological resets. Okay, so first thing is first is inequality as a design feature. Schwab and Malleret argued that society will not continue to accept the world, will not continue to accept the world, will not continue to accept the world where a hedge fund manager specializing in short selling earns millions while a nurse earns a fraction of that amount. The pandemic made the gap between market value and actual societal value of work impossible to ignore. Now, this is what they're saying. Number two, fragile health and social infrastructure that call for cost-effective healthcare systems worldwide. COVID exposed that most countries had none of this at scale. GDP as a broken measurement. The initiative proposed updating GDP to include digital economy values and unpaid work, arguing that what we were measuring as success was leaving out an enormous categories of actual value creation. Number four, environmental unsustainability. Baked into the growth model, they argued that COVID and the climate crisis share five things in common. Both were systemic risks, both are nonlinear, both have harsh distributional impacts, and both are global in nature. Both affect countries and people disproportionately. And this argument was that the same system producing one crisis was producing the other crisis. Now, this is number five. This is where you come in, Miss Overthinker. Small business vulnerability and monopoly consolidation. So this one is ironic because World Economic Forum's own membership is the beneficiary class. The beneficiary class, elite class, okay? The book acknowledged that COVID was a source of profitable opportunity for big tech companies like Apple, Google, Facebook, and Amazon, where millions of small businesses closed permanently. And Yelp data had showed 60% of those closures were permanent. Number six, lack of global coordination infrastructure. The book argued that the absolute prerequisite for a proper reset is is a prerequisite for a proper reset is greater collaboration and cooperation within and between countries. Okay. The weaknesses. We need more collaboration with different countries. This is how it's going to benefit you. Okay, so this is the contested version. This is where it gets real layered. The core conspiratorial interpretation is that Schwab and the World Economic Forum are orchestrating crises like lockdowns and public health mandates to achieve hidden goals, ranging from economic collapse to authoritarian global governance. There's a phrase that's frequently cited as "you'll own nothing and you'll be happy," which originated from a 2016 WEF video and a series of articles where forum members made predictions about 2030. The Great Reset became a conspiracy theory that claims to expose something no one tried to hide, most of which isn't really happening and some of which probably should be. And from a different angle, critics point out that it functions as a corporate takeover global governance, affecting food systems and all of that. Now, one of the things I really want to dig into before we get out of here, and see, this is where child, because the tech industry is here. It's not going anywhere. We just have to do something prosperous with it and have it to align with what we do and what we create. So that I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. Welcome to 2030. In this fictional scenario, in this fictional scenario, in this fictional scenario, everything that used to be a product has become a service. No one owns a car, a house, appliances, or clothes. Instead, everything is rented, shared, or delivered on demand. The World Economic Forum turned into a video called Eight Predictions for the World in 2030. And the World Economic Forum clarified that it has no stated goal to have individuals own nothing and be happy, and that its Agenda 2030 framework includes individual ownership and control over private property. The video was eventually taken down by the World Economic Forum website sometime between late April and early May of 2023. So, what's the business model? This is where it stops being hypothetical and starts being a little bit observable. So, a CEO from Philips explained the concept to the World Economic Forum in 2016. In circular economic business models, I would like products to come back to me as the original designer and manufacturer. What does that sound like? That sounds like an ecosystem. So, why would I actually sell you the product if you're primarily interested in the benefit of the product? Maybe I can stay the owner of the product and just sell you the benefit as a service. That's what they want. I hope y'all are able to understand what I'm saying and what I'm reading here. Ownership is supposed to be power, and this is where I'm at. That's exactly the point. Ownership is leverage, and it's the ability to say no. It's the ability to walk away from things. It's the ability to build something that compounds over time. When you own your home, your business, your intellectual property, your content, your platform, you have a floor that nobody else can pull from up under you. A subscription model means your access can be revoked, your terms can change, your price can increase, your data belongs to someone else. You're a permanent renter in your own life. And that's not conspiracy theory. That's a business model we're already living inside of. Software you used to buy once is now a monthly fee. Music that you used to own is now a streaming subscription. The you'll own nothing isn't it's already being built. The question isn't whether it's coming. The question is whether people can see it clearly enough to build in the opposite direction. So what we have to start doing is owning our own IP, owning our audience, and owning our infrastructure. So we got to get to the other side of this. Because that's where your freedom is on the other side of this. You got to get to the other side. This is very serious. So if you're going to come to the workshop, it's a 3-day workshop. It's $47 for now. The price will go up. Get your agents together. I'm telling you, I just heard it very differently this go around. Yes, absolutely. It's nothing to be afraid of, but it's something that you gotta get to building global relationships. If you don't hear nothing else I say, you need to build global relationships. That's all I'm like. My daughter's getting ready to leave, and all you gonna see me is like now I'm working toward because now I got time. Like everything was I was being a mom and being at your mom and all this kind of stuff and I ain't got nothing but time. I ain't gonna have nothing but time when she go off to school. So I got to get busy. Cause I'm gonna tell you this, connections and all that stuff. I gotta get in the air and travel. I know all this stuff is going on, I don't care. Cause the destiny don't stop because chaos is happening. Be your inner calm. Get into the workshop. $47. Get your own agent so you can know what's doing. You can build agents on top of that for different businesses and different organizations that's going to come to you for help because a lot of them are not going to have help. I'm telling you, this is where we at. We are in the metaverse. The universe is going to be replaced we're going to be living in 2 different universes at the same time. You know how we say we have a higher self or oversoul? We're going to be the higher self for somebody else. You heard it here first. They probably going to take this down. I don't care. You are going to be a higher self for somebody in another metaverse. You know how when we play games and all that whole game theory, simulation theory, there are other universes, other dimensions. Go look at Marvel movies before they take them all down and ban them. It's all dimensional talk. You can't say you didn't know. Okay, I gotta go because I gotta go coach. Bye. Love y'all. Bye.